I'm going to make a
after I
sick
charge my
Jesus
phone.
edit.
Yes,
I'm making a
yes.
sick Jesus edit. Welcome back. Episode 24. BBL Sports Talk. The Big Boys League. Kobe episode. Kobe. I'm pissed. I'm kind of pissed off today. Beyonce won Country Album of the Year over Chris Stapleton, over Casey Musgraves. Let's dive into it. What up, gentlemen?
Yo, yo.
What's up?
So, we got a lot of sports we're going to get into, but quick reaction. This is where I want to start tonight. I was forced to watch the Grammys on Sunday. And can someone explain to me how Beyonce wins Country Album of the Year over Chris Stapleton, over Casey Musgraves, and it's celebrated? But back in 2013, when Macklemore won Album of the Year with his absolute classic, Thrift
Banger.
Shop on there, like banger after banger on there. Everybody throws a fit because he wins the Grammy over Drake and Kendrick. But it's cool. It's cool when Beyonce wins Country Album of the Year. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch it and see the Grammys, but that pissed me off.
Do you want my take?
I do want your take. It's what I'm asking for.
I don't know. I didn't know if that was just a one-sided thing. Macklemore sucks.
Oh my God, Joe.
Macklemore does suck.
No, he doesn't.
No, he does. I wasn't being.
No, he doesn't.
I wasn't
Macklemore
being
sucks.
serious.
That's like saying Nickelback sucks.
No.
Yes.
No, because Nickelback doesn't suck.
No, they don't. Neither does Macklemore. Macklemore's dope. Yup, hit me with it.
But you know what I will say?
Say it.
Texas Hold'em's a great song.
Oh my God.
All right, we're moving on. I don't even want to know. We are moving.
You are fake news.
We are moving on. That's look, all I'm saying is if we're gonna throw fits about Macklemore winning, rap album of the year, then how do we hand Beyonce country album of the year and it's not even a country album? And
I discovered Macklemore.
Cripple. Chris Stapleton dropped a classic this year. He did. So just putting it out there.
Less about that.
Yeah, I don't care about. I don't listen to country music. Outside of here's
I
the
don't
thing.
either. Not
People
at all.
People are saying Wallen isn't country.
No, he's washed. He used to be country. He's washed. I'm gonna go out on a limb right now.
Did they win anything?
What about
I
Red
don't know.
Hot Chili Peppers? Are they still making country?
Okay. This episode is off to a heck of a start. I'm sorry. I don't even know why I brought music up. I haven't watched the Grammys. I don't care about the Grammys. I haven't watched, but I was forced to on Sunday night, and I had some thoughts I had to get off. But I am in a hot take, like Morgan Wallen's washed. I will say that. Used to be a big Wallen fan, but he's not a fan. Not a fan of his recent music. Let's talk some sports.
Please.
Yeah, can we? And I'm sorry, I'm the one that started us on that, so I apologize. But
Fine, I love it. My take on Beyonce didn't get to answer the question.
okay, tell us.
I think she's signed a deal with the devil, and the Academy did too. So if you want to talk conspiracies, then let's start at the Grammys. Oh, it's all over the place.
Stark and I
Subtle
and
messaging.
Joey, you are more than welcome to join, but you just weren't on the last one. But Stark and I will be doing another conspiracy live stream soon, and I can't wait because I've got some thoughts to get off.
Yeah, I'm doing some research, getting some facts together.
there's this web, and Beyonce's at the center of the web. We'll unpack it on a live stream, conspiracy live stream soon. But I'm just saying,
She does all the time.
Jay-Z, you're not safe from BBL Sports. BBL Sports is on to you, Jay-Z and Beyonce. So, all right. With that said,
I'm Team Bayhive.
Let's go.
of course, Jet's Beehive. All right, Jet, we're not doing Who's Who tonight, but Jet wants to get one off anyway. So, Jet, get off the Who's Who. I'm excited for this.
Make it quick. Is Bill Belichick the Hugh Hefner of Leonardo DiCaprio's?
People are talking.
People are talking.
I have one.
Yeah.
Stark's got one.
Is Sharon Moore the Nick Saban of Marcus Freeman's?
What inspired that?
Does
When new
skin
news come
color
out about
play a
Sharon?
part in this Who's Who?
Is
The
that
new
maybe
news-
the first colored coaches come to mind? I don't know.
New news drop about
Sharon Moore's
Sharon Moore.
recruiting is elite.
That's it. No,
NIL
great
has
point.
nothing to do with it.
You were going on the recruiting angle. I love it.
Yeah,
I was just curious.
He
I just-
landed another 5-star.
I would have maybe went with the Mel Tucker route. People are saying that he might have been the greatest recruiter in college
That would have
football.
been better. That would have been better.
Keep chopping.
Yes, I mean, look at Levitt. He's going to be the greatest quarterback in college football next year.
Yeah, that's. See, we don't have time to get into that, but I would love to get into that. I mean, it's just, dude. Sam Levitt is not an NFL quarterback. Sorry, but hey, awesome. He's awesome in the collegiate level, but we'll get into it another day. But Mel Tucker, I will say this about Mel Tucker. And Jet, you can attest to this because you and I spoke about this when Michigan State fired him. He got a raw deal. That was, I think Michigan State was wrong to fire him for the reason they fired him.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
I think he got the short end of the stick on that whole deal. Mel
Don't forget
Tucker.
they were terrible, too.
No,
No,
I'm saying if,
that's why they did it.
right. I'm
But
saying
he
if
got
you're going to
fired
fire
for,
him,
like sexual
come out and
harassment.
say we're firing him because he's a terrible football coach.
They were trying to get out of the $90 million or whatever dollar contract.
Yeah. So,
I'll be right back.
all right, I don't have a who's who tonight. I apologize because I came prepared with, and I know you guys did as well. We are going to first segment of the night.
Call me asparagus.
It's the new year. We've done a couple episodes so far in 2025, but it's still early in 2025. And we've been so focused on the Lions, we haven't really had a chance to talk about the new year and what's going to happen in the world of sports this year. So it's a little bit of receipts. Like, we're going to come back to this at the end of 2025 and see, did anybody hit on any of these predictions? So we're going to go through. I want everyone to give a bold take, a prediction on something that's going to happen in the sports world in 2025. It doesn't necessarily have to be tied to sports, like, entirely. It doesn't have to be happening on the field or on the court. But a story, a headline that you think we will read in 2025. So here we go. Bold takes for 2025. I will go first. Here's my bold take of 2025. It's a two-parter. Part 1. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift will get engaged.
I don't think
Really
that's
into
not
Hollywood,
out
aren't
of
you?
a take.
Part 2.
Adam likes Hollywood.
Part 2. Travis Kelce will cheat on Taylor Swift in 2025.
Wow.
Oh, man.
We
You're
will
trying to
revisit
piss
this.
off all of our female listeners tonight with these Beyonce slander and this Travis Kelce cheating on Queen Swift rhetoric. I'm not a fan.
Joey's like simping right now. I'm in the middle of you two. What's going on?
I'm just pro women, and I think Adam's disgusting.
No, I'm going
I
to get in
agree.
trouble when the wife listens to this. I'm going to get in trouble, but I just look, I won't give you my reasoning. That's my hot take of the year. I think that they get engaged and then the engagement gets broken off because Travis Kelce cheats. That's my take. Jet, let's hear your bold take for 2025.
My bold take for 2025, I think, is that the NFL sells out to private equity and we get advertisements on jerseys, and it's going to piss me off.
No, that's actually a great take, but I hate it.
I hate it too, but I don't know why I was thinking of that. And I was like, well, this is the year. They're going to get money hungry, and we're going to have fucking. I mean, we'll have Ford on our jerseys, which I don't know. That's not too bad, probably. There's no guarantee we have Ford on our jerseys, but it'll probably be like Ford or Rocket Mortgage. I'm trying to think of like a cool brand that could be on a jersey that I actually wouldn't mind.
McDonald's Sports.
Red Wings
A
did
McDonald's
that.
Jacksonville Jaguar jerseys would kind of be sick.
Wait, this could be partially funny. It could suck, but
What
at the
about
same
BBL
time be
Lions
like really
jerseys?
funny. Like Alibaba sponsors the Raiders.
Yeah.
Timu sponsors the Cleveland Browns. That could be funny. But BBL Sports should be the jersey sponsor for the Detroit Lions.
Would be nice.
Talk to Dr. 250.
Yeah.
See if he can front some cash.
Yeah, it's a loan, low interest loan, no interest loan. Stark, curious to hear what is your bold take for 2025?
A bold take is that the Detroit Red Wings are going to hoist the Stanley Cup this year. Yeah. Firmly believe it right now.
They're hot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hot take, but they're the best team in hockey right now, and they just have it going with these young guys. So, yeah, I don't know. The odds are crazy. If you want to go bet it right now, you can. They're in the wild card position, but they're buzzing. And it's not the first time a team that would go from like a really bad spot early in the season that turned it around and then goes into the playoffs super hot. They go crazy in the playoffs. NHL's
Was that
just
the
a little
Blues
different.
in 2019?
Yep. And then the Kings were the 8th seed. They snuck in on like the last day of the season one year and then ended up winning it. I think that was 2000. I don't want to guess. It was in the string where Boston, them, and Chicago were winning all the time. But I don't know. The Red Wings are really good, and they so since they changed coaches, they are 15-4-1. That is the best record in the NHL. They have the best power play in the NHL. All their young guys are playing good. This Elmer Soderblom, he's like 6'7". He moves so well. He's really good. They're fun to watch. Yeah. It's not. I don't think it's the craziest thing. Hockey's crazy, and they're looking very good. So, Patrick
the
Kane
Wings?
the other night. Good Lord, he's still got it. Most shootout goals of all time.
The Wings are hot, and that's one thing. If you're listening, I know it's been football, and football runs the world, and but we're gonna talk a little bit of Lions tonight, but the episodes from here on out are gonna be really Wings focused, Pistons focused, and Tigers focused, really and then college basketball as well. As we move into the summer. So I'm excited. Like, we're going to start breaking down more Wings because they're, like you said, 15-4-1 since the coaching change. I knew it was best in the league, but yeah, they're hot.
7-game winning streaks.
Yeah, they're hot. Go Wings. And that's one thing I wanted to bring up to you guys today is like, you remember we were kids at the time, but the classic April in the D commercial.
Oh yeah.
We might be getting a classic April in the D this year.
Would be so sick.
Especially if the Tigers get pregnant.
Detroiters?
Yes.
I haven't.
They
do the commercials for it, don't they?
Well, they like did a spoof April in the D commercial. I don't know if they do them now, but it's so good.
I'll have to check that out.
You'll have to watch it, Adam. It's very funny. Tim Robinson, I forget his co-host's name, but they're awesome. They did the schedule release for the Lions this year.
Yes. Yeah, I forget that dude's name too, but I know Tim. Know him well.
Yeah.
Personally. But all right, let's get into some Lions talk, and then we can kind of wrap up this season. But there's been, since we've last spoke, the Lions have hired a DC, they've hired an OC, they've retained some coaches, they brought some other dudes in. Really curious to get you guys' thoughts on it. So let's transition into the Lions, and let's start on the defensive side of the ball. I was kind of laughing to myself as the coaching announcements came through, because we got on here episode 23, and I was very certain that the Lions were going to go internal on the offensive side of the ball. Made sense, continuity, want to keep the offense is chugging and rolling. And then I thought they were going to go external on the defensive side of the ball, get someone who's seasoned, experienced, and come in to call the defense. Complete 180. Dan Campbell went in a complete different direction. And on the defensive side of the ball, he promotes Kelvin Sheppard. Now, I love the hire. I expected them to go external, but I absolutely love the hire. Do I know if he's going to be a great play caller? No, he's not done it before. We haven't seen him as the man calling plays. But he has kind of been, AG's protege. He's been in Detroit since Dan Campbell got to Detroit. He was like one of the stars of Hard Knocks when the Lions were on Hard Knocks a couple years ago, just his coaching style and the way. He's a Dan Campbell guy. He's authentic. He was a player. The players love him. And he is everything that the Detroit Lions are. So at the end of the day, I love the hire. And I think one of the things that we've talked about before is the Lions had so many season-ending injuries. It's almost like the Lions have the best free agent class coming in next season because of all the guys that are going to be healthy and you're going to be adding to this defense without signing anybody. We're going to get to Myles Garrett later, so we don't need to bring that up yet because we will get into that. But, Jet, we're going to start with you here. Take on Kelvin Sheppard, expectations for Kelvin Sheppard. Are you happy with the hire?
I'm going to say I'm happy with any move that we would have made. We could have hired pretty much anyone outside of Matt Patricia, and I would have been very excited. I think we have proper people in the front office to make the right decisions. I don't know what Kelvin Sheppard's going to be like. I hope that he isn't a similar play caller to Aaron Glenn. But I will say that I'm optimistic and have faith that we made the right decision.
Yeah. No, and I agree with that. And one of the things that I feel like I'm optimistic about is all of us have jobs. BBL Sports is not our full-time employment, unfortunately. So we all have jobs, and I think about as you're in the workplace and you work for somebody else, you're not the man. You get to watch and learn, and you get to learn kind of two things: what to do and what not to do. And I feel like that's one of the luxuries that we have promoting Kelvin Sheppard is some of the things that we didn't love about AG, and the reason we didn't love it about AG is because it didn't work on the field, right? Like, it wasn't effective on the field. And so I have to think that he takes that into account. He makes some adjustments. It's not going to be an identical defense. And what I hope for Kelvin Sheppard is he's himself, right? He's not just trying to be AG. And everything I know about the guy, he seems like that type of person. So yeah, no, I think spot on. Stark, I'm curious your thoughts as well. Happy?
Yeah. I just don't think much will change. I hope. I don't know. I've always been. I'd rather have the focus on the players, but I just feel like a coordinator has to be really bad for it to make that big of a difference. So I like the inner hire. He knows how it works. He knows the organization. He knows the team, the players, everything. So I like that. Are we just talking about the defensive right now?
Yeah, we're going to get to the offense in a second. So
yeah, no,
but
I think it'll be great. I just think having a guy that's familiar with the team and the players and the schemes and everything, maybe sitting back, he you never know, because to your point, Adam, when you have a leader and you learn what to do and what not, like you take away and you say, I wouldn't do that, but I'm not in the position to like speak up and say, hey, we shouldn't do that. Now it's his time to be like, maybe he hated the things that weren't working, and maybe we see the improvements, but I just don't think it's exciting. It's not flashy. I don't like to like spend my time like thinking about this one too much, because I truly think like you got to be Matt Waldron bad to make a big difference, and that guy's bad. So, or Matt Patricia, or like you know what I'm saying though, like
Yeah.
I feel like for coaches to make a big difference, they have to be really bad, and I just don't think these coaches are even close to that. So, I'm excited for the season next year. It's like I'm on a vacation from the Lions. I'm not thinking about it too much, but just getting back into this, I'm like, it's just super exciting. Your comment about like the free agents is interesting. It's like, yeah, you go into the next year with a full different roster than you ended last year, which is like we did going into this year, but
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm like, as the Lions go into free agency, I mean, how many times did we talk about this on the pod, at the beginning of the season? When the Lions defense was healthy, they were top 10 in the league in points allowed. They were the number 1 run defense in the league. And then when you lose throughout the course of a season, you ultimately lose 9 out of 11 starters. It's just, I mean, it's why, like, AG's got a head coaching job because of the job that he did with the players that he had throughout the season. So, but it's a really interesting point, because if you think about it, you head into free agency and it's like, okay, well, what do the Lions need? I mean, they're getting 9 dudes back healthy, and it's almost like you've got a brand new defense week 1 next year. Just because of the injury. So, and then we're like I said, we're going to get to it. I don't want to talk about it yet, but you potentially had a dude like Myles Garrett. There's some other big name free agents that we could potentially pull in. Khalil Mack on the defensive line. So there's some options for the Lions there, and I think continuity is big. We don't have to put a new system in. And then one of the things that I really like about this hire that I don't think anyone's talking about, that I think is a sneaky good part of this hire. He's going to be a first-time play caller. He's young. I don't see Calvin Shepard, even if the Lions go on and win the Super Bowl next year and have an awesome defense, I don't see Calvin Shepard as being a really hot name for a head coaching position. And that was one of the things that if they went in a direction like Robert Saleh on the defense, and that defense performs well, he would have been a one and done. I think Calvin Shepard, you're going to get some continuity, and I don't think he's a hot name for a head coaching position for at least a couple years, just because of his pedigree and his experience and where he's from. So I think that's a sneaky good part of the hire, as well as you're not bringing in a one and done. We should have really both of these guys for at least a couple seasons. And let's switch gears now. Let's go over to the offensive side of the ball. So, obviously lose Ben Johnson. He goes to Chicago. We've already talked about that. And have fun with Caleb. It's all cool. I'm over it. I'm upset about his play calling in the Washington game, and that'll always stick with me, unfortunately, with Ben Johnson. But he's in Chicago. We lose Angstrand to the Jets. But we keep Hank Fraley, which is a key piece of this offensive staff. Offensive line coach. He gets a little bit of a promotion. He's now the run game coordinator. We bring in John Morton. And for the listeners out there, if you aren't that familiar with John Morton, who is the Lions' new OC, and he will be the play caller next year, he was an assistant to Ben Johnson in 2022. He's been an OC with the Jets. Josh McCown was his quarterback when he was the OC with the Jets. And one thing I'm going to throw out here, Josh McCown had his career, the best year of his career was when John Morton was calling plays for him. Just throwing that out there. But this guy, he's kind of bounced around the league. He's been at a bunch of different places. Super instrumental in that 2022 offense with the Lions. When he left the Lions to go work for Sean Payton in the Broncos in 2023, Dan Campbell in his end-of-season presser said that was really going to hurt because Morton was instrumental in developing that offense in 2022, which is really what Ben Johnson built off of in the coming years. So I love the hire. Is he going to be as creative? Are we going to see the trick plays like we saw with Ben Johnson? Probably not. But he has familiarity with the players, with the team. The scheme is not going to change that much. Dan Campbell trusts him, so I trust him. I give a thumbs up to the hire of John Morton. I'm pretty pumped about it. It's not a big splash hire, but this is a guy that comes from the Sean Payton coaching tree. Sean Payton is one of the best offensive coaches in the league. Sean Payton knows how to pick them if you look at his coaching tree. And I'm excited to see what the offense looks like. And then adding Shaw, the old Stanford head coach. He's the passing game coordinator. And just bringing him into that room, I mean, he is a great football mind, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And what I really like is I feel like the coaching staff that Dan Campbell assembled, to me, what Dan Campbell is telling us with this coaching staff, the Lions are going to be a ground and pound team that then throws the ball off of play action. Hank Fraley becoming the run game coordinator, David Shaw, his time at Stanford. John Morton is a pass happy guy in the past, but just these hires to me scream like the Lions are going to focus and key in on the run. Look at what Philly's doing. They're in the Super Bowl, and they said, why are we trying to throw the ball all over the place? Let's just pound the rock and then throw play action and put Jalen Hurts in good positions to be successful. And I feel like the Lions are trying to emulate that with their hires. So, Jet, we'll go to you here. Do you agree, disagree, thumbs up on the hire? What are your thoughts on John Morton and the new offensive staff?
Yeah, I was excited about it. I don't know a whole lot about him, so I don't want to get too hype about it. But he's a Michigan guy, born and raised in Auburn Hills. And then I also thought I saw, I don't know if it was him or Shaw, but they either ran it at USC or Stanford, that fake fumble play.
I did not see
You know what
this.
I'm talking about? The Jared Goff
Well,
fake
I know
fumble?
this.
Yeah.
I know that play.
I think that it was Shaw, but they actually ran that. That's where Ben Johnson got the play call from. So I don't know. Maybe we still will see trickery like that when you have an awesome offensive line that gives you time to run some of those plays. We get to still see some exciting stuff. So I'm excited. I think I'm more excited on the offensive side of the ball than I am defensive.
Me too. I'm with you there. For the reasons I stated, I really like this staff. Stark, you in agreement? Are we across the board here? Thumbs up on the offense and defensive side.
Yep, should be fun.
I didn't think I was going to get a lot of pushback. I think that was I don't know if you guys feel the same way as me and tell me I was surprised by the hires on both sides of the ball, but surprisingly happy with both hires on both sides of the ball. Like, not the names I expected, but really, really happy where we ended up.
Yeah, I feel like coordinators, I'd never guess who they were going to hire. I feel like I always have somebody in mind, and it's never that person. So I don't think that I was surprised, because I would have been surprised if I was right.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, anyway, I think, I want to get on, and we're going to we're going to get into Myles Garrett here in a second. But yeah,
Who was my
think,
guess for offensive coordinator?
Oh, man, who was your guess? We threw some crazy names out there, like Lincoln Riley came up. But we all went internal, and we said it was going to be Tanner Engstrand, and he's headed to New York.
I don't think I said that.
I
forget who I said, though.
Scotty Montgomery.
Stark said Les Miles.
I heard they had calls out. They did an interview.
They wanted less.
They did
They wanted
interview
less
him.
for the OC position. But no, I think just to kind of put a bow on that, you have continuity on both sides of the ball. Because Morton being an outside hire, it's not really an outside hire. Like, he worked with Jared Goff and this offensive line, and he helped build that Ben Johnson offense in 2022, which 2022, that was the season the Lions started 1-6. They finished 9-8. The offense was electric, and he was instrumental in that. So he was Ben Johnson's lead assistant that year. So again, continuity on both sides of the ball. You get healthy. We get people back. We add some free agents. You have to imagine that the injury bug, we have better luck next season. Like, I don't think it's statistically possible to have worse luck or the same luck next year and just
Don't say that.
Stay healthy.
Don't say
I'm just
that.
saying. I'm just throwing statistics out there. I mean, it's like it had never been. It's never happened before in the history of the league. But no, you get and we're all in agreement in this, right? Players make the plays. Coaches make the play calls. We feel really good about the roster that's in Detroit. Now, with that being said, Myles Garrett news. Myles Garrett requests a trade out of Cleveland. And, like, I can't stress this enough. Myles Garrett is he is a one of one. I mean, there's Myles Garretts don't come around very often. Hall of Fame player in his prime, under 30 years old, wants to compete for a championship. The Lions are being talked about as a potential landing spot for him. The mock trade that's been thrown out there for the Lions is 2 firsts, a second, and Hendon Hooker. My opinion, I would do that. Like, how fast can we get this deal done if that's truly what it's going to take to get Myles Garrett? I want to know your thoughts. Obviously, we all want Myles Garrett here. We know what the price is going to be. It's going to be a hefty price. Do you feel like the Lions should do whatever it takes to bring Myles in the door? And how much would you be willing to give up for Myles Garrett? Jet, we'll start with you on this.
Anything. I'd rather franchise our future in picks than give away players, because I've seen a ton of mocks. It's funny that you said the one floating out there. Like, I've seen a bunch of those. Not just that one, because I've seen Jack Campbell involved. I've seen Jamison Williams involved. I've seen Jahmyr Gibbs involved. And under no circumstance do I want to give up Jahmyr Gibbs or do I want to give up Jamison Williams. Jack Campbell, I think we have a great linebacking core. I would not be devastated to see him go in the trade, but I would much rather have some of these picks go away, because I think we have a young core right now. And I think if we took 2 years off, a couple first-round picks and a second-round pick, I'm confident in Brad Holmes to build through the third and fourth round. We've had winners on those in past years. So I think it's anything for Myles Garrett when it comes to a couple first and second-round picks. And if Jack Campbell has to go, Jack Campbell can go. And I also am completely fine if Hendon Hooker has to leave. I think that was a Ben Johnson project. And when he's come into games, I have not been the biggest fan.
Fair. I think that's fair. Give me your list, because I know you have one. Who are the untouchables on the Lions roster that you would not be okay being included in a deal for Myles Garrett?
Probably just J-Mo, Jahmyr, obviously Jared, Kirby, BB. I don't want to get rid of Tarian. Gosh.
I have a much smaller list than you.
Anzalone.
Okay.
And Aleem McNeil.
So those would be, if you're Brad Holmes, those are your untouchables.
Yeah, I'm just not even entertaining. I would rather give up picks because I think that they have a role, and I don't want to lose team chemistry over sending somebody away to get Miles Garrett. I think picks are viewed as more valuable as well. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'd just
I mean,
rather
picks
give
are
up,
yeah. Picks are going to be a given. I mean, we're going to have to give up at least 2 firsts if we're going to go after Miles. But Stark, your thoughts on Miles? All in?
I say go get him. I wouldn't want to I would have a shorter list too, but I agree with Joey. I wouldn't want to like ruin anything that we do have going because I don't think we're that far off. We just got hurt, right? So we don't need to go blow anything up. I would be all in on trading picks because if we're trading 3 first round picks, like that's 3 picks that are at the end of the first round. And you don't know what Brad, if he wants someone, you never know what he can do to get back up into that first round. So, I mean, you're not losing lottery picks. You're losing hopefully a 28, 29, 30, 30th pick.
Hopefully 32.
32, yeah. That's what I meant. But yeah, I'd say give him 5 first-round picks and then let Brad cook in the 2nd through 7th round.
Stark, I love that.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm furious.
If you told me right
serious.
now we don't have a first-round pick for the next 5 years, but we get Miles Garrett,
Yeah.
I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah. And, like, there isn't if we do get him and in 2 years it would be a tough decision. Like, you'd have to really hopefully win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years because if not, when you go to re-sign him, you're either going to lose him or you're going to lose 3 other guys, right? So that's something to think about. But I don't know. Go get him. He's better than Max Crosby. He's a game record. He's the best defensive player in the league.
He's the best edge in the league and probably the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
I think that's like not even really up for debate. I mean, you can, but all right, Stark, I want to hear your untouchable list.
Jahmyr Gibbs, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra.
Penei and Amon-Ra, I can't believe I didn't say them.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are.
I was
are,
going to say,
yeah.
you threw out
I'm
Terry
saying
and Arnold.
Terry and Arnold before I said
I mean-
Penei Sewell.
That would be my only 3 because here's my mindset on that. Is like, if you take one, like, I wouldn't want Brian Branch. So maybe Brian Branch too. But he makes a bigger difference than anyone else on the team would. Other than I would add Hutch, so those 4. But like Gibbs, Penei, Amon-Ra, like those guys they are game changers. So is Garrett. So I would trade guys that would play a role but aren't game changers. You know what I'm saying? Like Kirby Joseph is good. He's a great player.
He's like the league in interceptions.
I know, yeah. But who would you rather have, Joey? Like that's a no-brainer. If they said we want 3 first-rounders and Kirby Joseph,
I'd say get lost, buddy.
No, I wouldn't. I'm sorry.
If they said give me 1 first-rounder and Aiden Hutchinson,
no,
for Miles Garrett,
no,
you'd say no.
Oh,
I would say no. So here's my untouchable.
Because to have him and Hutch, like
I want them both as well too.
You don't want to run into a situation where Miles Garrett gets hurt and then boom, you're back. He doesn't. He's a freak, but.
Dude,
I do
have you seen the video of him doing sit-ups?
I want 2 sick DNs. Like, that's what I want. That's the dream. Because then you don't, like, who said it? Then you don't need good corners. Then Terry and Arnold.
Amon-Ra said it.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra, yeah. You don't. Terry and Arnold will be an all-pro for years to come if they have these 2 guys because they'll just lock guys up. I mean.
Well, and that's so.
I fucking hate that we're talking about this right now.
I know. I wish we were previewing the Super Bowl. It sucks, but so all right. I have a couple thoughts. I'm gonna give you guys my untouchables list. My untouchables list is short. Jared Goff. The Browns wouldn't want Goff anyway. They're rebuilding, but Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Penei Sewell, Aiden Hutchinson, Amon-Ra. Those are my only untouchables.
You're sending JMO away?
I would send JMO.
I am the biggest JMO fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I quote,
Yes.
you said Nobody has his speed in the league. If you truly believe that, that's one of one talent right there.
Okay, who impacts a game more? I love JMO, and I would be heartbroken if we traded JMO.
Because JMO makes
Who makes a bigger impact in a game, Myles Garrett or Jamison Williams?
What do you think, or what does Las Vegas think?
Me and Vegas think the same on this topic.
'cause
I promise we do.
You want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
2 years ago, outside of quarterbacks,
Tyreek Hill, I know you.
if a player was listed as out for a game, guess who was the number one player to move a line, and guess how many points it was?
Tyreek Hill, 4 points.
Tyreek Hill, 3.5 points if he was listed as out for the Dolphins, more than any defensive player and any offensive player outside of a quarterback. That is insane. And you said that he's better than Tyreek?
He is. He is better than Tyreek. Like he'll be better than Tyreek, right? Like he hasn't been better than Tyreek yet, but he will be better than Tyreek. And right now in their careers, give me JMO over Tyreek like 7 days a week. But I can't believe I'm sitting here like having to talk down on JMO because I'm the biggest JMO fan that exists in the world. But listen, Myles Garrett, if you want to win in the NFL, there's two things you absolutely have to have: a quarterback and a pass rush. Those are the top two things to win in this league. And if you have the best pass rusher on one side and the up-and-coming, maybe the second best pass rusher on the other side, then to Amon-Ra's point, who cares who's playing corner? Put Jet out there in some shoulder pads, and he'll lock up. Jet will be out there locking up A.J. Brown.
Well, here's my thing, and I don't want this to take away, like, I wouldn't trade Jamison Williams for Myles Garrett straight up. I'm saying if they say we want 3 first-round picks and Jamison Williams, I say, here's 4 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Good day.
Yeah, I agree with
Good
that.
day.
Sure. Good day.
Yeah. Here's the other part that I want to talk about with Myles, where I think the Lions are in a really good position to get him. The Lions have draft capital. The Lions haven't made a splash trade since Brad Holmes. The splashiest move that Holmes has made since he got to Detroit is trading a single third-round pick for Carlton Davis, right? So we have picks in the bank. The Lions have top 5 most cap space in the league this offseason. Next year, things get a little shakier as the extensions come into play. But it's the circle of life in the NFL. And this is the circle of life for professional sports. You have the has and the have-nots. And if you're a have, you give up draft capital to get players. And if you're a have-not, you give up players to get draft capital. And that's the Lions have draft capital. The Lions are in a position to win now. The Lions have a young core that they're not going to have to – they've already signed some extensions, but a lot of this young core is not going to be looking for extensions for a couple years. You have really a 2-year window of being able to go out and make this deal for Myles Garrett, and it doesn't affect your cap hit that bad. Not a lot of teams are in that same position. And so I just personally think that the Lions are the best suited team to go out and make a deal. And Albert Breer, he talked about this on the Rich Eisen show this week. He made a point, and I thought this was really interesting. He said with the way the Lions roster is stacked and all this young talent they have, 5 rookies even make the 53-man roster? Like 5? Like, why do we give up the draft capital? We've got a young roster. It's locked in, talent from top to bottom. The Lions are the team in the best position to make a deal for Myles Garrett. Go get it done. And I don't think I can tell you this: you don't have to give up 5 first-round picks. You don't have to give up 4. 3 would certainly do it. You could probably get away with 2 and a second-rounder or a third-rounder. And then if we got to tag Jack Campbell on there, I love you, Jack, but have fun in Cleveland. Have fun in Ohio,
And
buddy.
Who's your boy? that won the jersey?
Seth. Sorry,
Seth.
Seth. Seth has got a vintage Lions jersey, and we are happy for it.
Yeah. Really quickly, I don't know how much longer we plan on potting, but Cooper Kupp.
Let's talk about this. I want to.
I have
'Cause I'm a hard
10%
no.
battery life left on my iPhone, just a heads up. But Cooper Kupp, I want him. I want him bad. And here's why. He's going to be cheap. Like dirt cheap. They are going to have to pay to get rid of him because he's got some like $60 million contract and they want him gone. And they want him to say, no, I'm not taking my contract, cut me. Or they're going to have to trade him and it be like a favorable trade.
Okay, I got two things for you. The first thing is I'm pretty sure Stark's watching Instagram Reels right now.
No, I was pointing. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Second.
No, I'm not.
Is
I'm not.
Oh, no, it's Facebook
scrolling.
videos.
I'm not.
Stark is
He's doing
scrolling.
Facebook videos. He
I'm
doesn't fuck
not.
with.
Secondly,
No, I'm not. Go ahead, Adam.
Stark isn't. Secondly, okay, you just made a really interesting point. I am much more open to Kupp if he's cheap. If they cut him, or if the Rams say we'll pay 60% of his salary next year, and he's not a big cap hit to the Lions, then I'm in on it at that point. I just don't think we need Cooper Kupp, and I don't want to give up capital for Cooper Kupp and take the cap hit for Cooper Kupp. But if what you're saying is true, and the Lions can get him cheap,
Somebody's going to get him cheap, and everyone's going to say it's going to be like the Chase Young from Commanders trade, where everyone's like, I would have traded a second for him.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that Kupp is worth
probably a
like a
fifth.
flyer. Yeah,
It's probably a
It's
fifth
like, that's what
for
I was looking
Cooper.
up too. I opened my phone to look up what they had him estimated at. It said like a fifth and a sixth would be what they want for him.
Yeah, it's dirt cheap. So I think that if that happens, I'm going to be upset and be like, why don't we just fucking go for it? Because him as our wide receiver 3 would be nuts.
Think about this. Adam Thielen was written off at the end of his Minnesota career, goes to Carolina, and literally any time he's playing, he's good.
He ain't right back.
I mean, very
Dude, I
similar.
saw a comparison of OBJ to Adam Thielen in their careers.
Thielen way better. Thielen had one of the best seasons of all time.
Yeah, it was. It was insane. It
He
was
had
like the first
1,400-yard games out of 16 games.
Yeah, the first 5 years, OBJ blew him out of the water, and then the last, like, I don't know, however many years he's been in the league, he's obviously just made up all the ground and then some.
Yeah, I mean, both of those
OBJ,
players,
wide
Thielen and
receiver
Kupp,
3.
had, like, record-breaking seasons.
Yeah.
And Goff played with Kupp.
He did.
That's the other part of this, right? Is they've played together, and can you imagine
Kupp and
Amon-Ra?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Amon-Ra in the slot to the left, and Kupp in the slot to the right, and
Good luck.
J-Mo out wide,
Just burners.
and
Burners.
Laporta coming off of the line, and Gibbs in the backfield.
And we just run the
It
ball
would be nice.
8
You don't have
times
to
in a
pay him
row.
much. I would. Otherwise, you're going to either go get another Tim Patrick type player, which he was good.
Shout out Tim. We love Tim Patrick.
You try to draft another one, but I like the idea of go get a guy you know who can play. And he's pissed. I don't think he's very happy that he's
No,
doing
he's
this.
off.
Which is another reason, like, guys have a chip on their shoulder. Bring him here. Let him win another one here. I mean, the Goff connection is it, but I don't think you do both. Is this crazy to say? You can't get Myles Garrett and Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah,
You can.
Not for
No, you
picks.
could.
You're not trading
Yeah.
an entire year's
A
worth of picks.
6th-round pick?
It wouldn't be
Yeah.
just a sixth. I don't think. Maybe.
Okay,
Yeah, then yes,
I
it
am,
would be. Yes, you could do both for sure. I would take
guys,
those two and then no one else.
Stephon Diggs went for a 5th-round pick last
DeAndre
offseason.
Hopkins was like nothing too, wasn't he?
DeAndre Hopkins went for a 5th. These receivers, I think people like the trade value. Receivers are very valuable to a football team, but for some reason the trade value is low. Stephon Diggs went for a 5th.
Yeah.
D-Hop went for a 5th. Mike Williams went for a 6th.
He sucks.
He
Washing
didn't even
machine.
do anything, but
Yeah.
yeah, they sent some Coke cans over to restock the pop machine in the locker room. But
No, they were empty Coke cans. It was just a can drive at that point.
they got the
Who went to the
10-cent
Ravens
return.
and the Texans? Who was that?
Oh my gosh,
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay
Yes.
Johnson, yeah,
Yeah.
unbelievable. Yeah, that's the character too. Cooper Kupp is like he's a Lions culture
fit
type
in.
of guy. I like it.
What makes you say that?
No,
He's
I know what
never.
direction. I know what direction you're going here, Jet. And what
No,
makes
he
me
might
say
be
that is,
Amon-Ra.
I just didn't know if you knew him personally.
Here he goes again, Adam. Here he goes.
has Cooper Kupp ever been a diva?
Has he ever
Anyway,
gotten in
at any
trouble?
point in
Has he
his
ever been a diva?
No.
I mean, he
Did you see him
posted a,
throwing any
he
fits at
posted
the end
a
of that
flyer.
season when he was getting no targets whatsoever?
Yeah, he posted a flyer saying, "My time here is done."
Well,
Well, he
that's
was pissed.
Not, that's a
He wanted to
business
stay in
decision.
L.A. He wanted to stay in L.A. and they said, we don't want you. So I like it. I like that. And Jed, I know we got to get this wrapped up because, guys, the pod it's actually not that short, but cutting the pod a bit short because
This is super short for us, but all because my phone is now on 5%. Not bad. All
right.
Did you have any other talking points, Adam?
we just have to give Super Bowl picks. Who wins and who's MVP?
Do it quick.
What?
Who wins
So
and
you
who's
go.
MVP?
No, I called on you. You raised your
Me?
hand. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I was pointing.
Oh. I have to apologize to the fans. Us as a podcast, people are saying I thought this was BBL Sports, not BBL Football. Zero NBA trade talk. NBA trade deadline.
Why don't we mix it up?
I had it on the show sheet, but we're 53 minutes in. And
All right, here
Jet's
I'll hit it
throwing
with the
his
quick.
time.
I'll hit it with my quick take. Ready, Joe?
Yep.
All right. Darren Fox goes to the Spurs. That's the best trade, in my opinion, in terms of improvement. Brandon Ingram goes to the Toronto Raptors. That is the dumbest trade in terms of team growth for the Raptors. The Lakers get a lot better, obviously, with Luka Doncic, and that's not even the biggest trade for them, in my opinion. Mark Williams was the bigger addition for them. He's awesome. He's a great addition for Luka. Total replacement for Anthony Davis. Pistons get 2 players for absolutely nothing. Zach LaVine goes back out to Sacramento to play with DeRozan again. They also add Vucevic, so they're loading up. I think I just covered most of it.
Do not sleep on Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder on the Pistons now.
To the
But I do
Pistons.
think that De'Aaron Fox going to the Spurs is like that they're going to be so good in a couple years, if not this year. Sorry, that's my Pistons talk.
Very good. I love that. I had a lot of that wrote down. I pretty much agree with you on everything. De'Aaron Fox might be the fastest human in Earth with a basketball in his hand.
Crazy. They are the Monstars.
Yes, they are. They're so good. I think
Sick.
I think the Spurs are awesome and very fun to watch, and it kind of makes me sad. And Cade Cunningham's balling, and I'm a bad Pistons fan for not talking about him more or liking them more. I'm not in love with the team right now, even though Cade's balling and I like Duran. But, dude, the Spurs are so fucking good, and they were just so bad, and it pisses me off because they're getting all the spotlight, and they went out and they've got a young, talented guy in Victor Wembanyama who obviously is more than a young, talented guy. That's an understatement. He's changing the game. More threes than Steph Curry in the amount of games that he's played at the beginning of his career. That's an unreal stupid stat for a guy who's fucking 7'4".
Yep.
It pisses me off that they go out and they get De'Aaron Fox because as a Pistons fan, I wanted to go out and get somebody, and this could be a bad take, Stark, but I did want Brandon Ingram because we were going to get him for nothing. It was just to get.
But he would want a super max. He was going to want a max after this year.
Yeah, but I just want to lease him
Here's
to
who
see
we
what we
want.
could do with somebody
Lonzo
like
Ball.
that. Yeah, Lonzo Ball, but I think he's going to be stuck in
Dirt
Charlotte.
cheap. Dirt cheap. Get him at the lowest point of his career before he starts to come back. That's. I have a take. That's for my cousin. My cousin said that. He said,
or Lonzo. Oh yeah, no, Lonzo. I thought you
Not
meant
LaMelo.
Not
Yeah,
LaMelo,
I was like,
Lonzo.
LaMelo's not at the bottom of his career, but you're right, Lonzo is. And my last take: the Mavericks are still going to be very good.
"Yeah, they will be."
It's like disgusting that Luka left the franchise because you never do that. A young player who you should dream of signing somebody to a supermax like that. Like their GM's, excuse my word for the podcast listeners out there, retarded. He is absolutely
You can say that now.
so dumb. I mean, you don't give away a talent like that. But at the same time, it's not like they traded him away for peanuts. They did still get another supermax player, top 10 player in the NBA, probably top 2 defensive player in the NBA. And I also think that, like, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, and he's going to try and ball out. And Kyrie Irving is still a top 3 point guard in the NBA. And they have Klay Thompson. And I mean, I love the NBA. I think that the Mavericks in the playoffs will probably make a run. And it will be the highest selling playoff tickets if they play the Lakers. It will be pure magic, and I will tune in for every game.
Me as well. I will give my one thought. I have a quick thought on the trade deadline. You guys did a great job of covering it. If I'm a Mavs fan and I'm trying to feel good about this, I will just say you guys absolutely needed help on the defensive side of the ball. You needed a rim protector. You got the best one in the league. And I agree with you. I think the Mavs are going to be really good and be a threat in the playoffs this year. In that same note, if I'm the NBA and you know how they send out random drug tests, I am sending Nico Harrison a random drug test.
I thought you were going to say you're testing Luka for Ozempic.
If I'm the Lakers, that's the first thing I'm doing when he shows up to the building is, hey, buddy, here's your new prescription. You're taking these every day. But
I got one more update.
Crazy. All right.
The Detroit Tigers got a lot better recently with the signing of Jack Flaherty again, and it was for a deal. They also signed Alex Cobb recently. They're going to have one of the best pitching rotations in the AL. Here's the other thing.
Gleyber Torres.
I like the Gleyber Torres signing a lot. Don't freak out if we don't get Bregman. I have this weird Javi Baez feeling about him. I think we have enough young talent to potentially do what we need to do. So don't freak out if we don't get Bregman. The pitching staff will be amazing. We're going to have a really good starting rotation and a very good bullpen. So they're gonna shut down a lot of teams. Pick them to win the division. I strongly, firmly believe that.
I'm with you. And Bregman, last thing, and then we'll get in the Super Bowl. Bregman wants a 7-year deal. That's a hard no.
Nah, not going to happen. We're not doing that again. Don't do it. Don't do that to us again.
Yeah. So
I like the Flaherty 2 years. Give me like a deal like that.
Yep. I like it. So all right, Jet, I'm trying to move quick so your phone doesn't die. You go first in case it dies. Who wins the Super Bowl and who's the Super Bowl MVP?
Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes wins the MVP. It is boring. It is stupid, and I love it.
I am going to follow that because the Kansas City Chiefs win. Patrick Mahomes wins the MVP. The game sucks. I hate my life. But Travis Kelce gets down on one knee at the 50-yard line after the game.
My pick, I pick the Eagles. Saquon Barkley MVP.
Oh, my God.
Saquon Barkley MVP. Jalen Hurts. Yeah, Saquon Barkley. I think that's all I got. It's his birthday. It's going to be his birthday. Him and Cooper DeJean.
there's a prop bet out there. Super Bowl MVP, first person that he thanks. Thanking God is even money.
Oh,
Who's second?
Mahomes and Hurts are both very religious. I think team/coaching staff is second at like plus 150.
Thank God. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
And then
That's-
number 3 is like family. I just think that Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes are both going to thank God.
okay. Really quick, can we lock this in right now? Like I'm.
Is that our
for
BBL
this.
lock of the week?
BBL lock of the Super Bowl. First person thanked from the Super Bowl MVP is God. Yes?
love it.
Yeah.
Lock it in.
I'm going to.
I'm going to make a
after I
sick
charge my
Jesus
phone,
edit.
Yes,
I'm making a
yes.
sick Jesus edit.
Yes, after I charge my phone, I'll try and find the line and send it over. But yeah, that would
Perfect.
be that's our BBL. We're back. Hey, the BBL lock of the week has risen.
It is back. The prodigal son. All right, fellas.
See ya, fellas.